everyone. My name is Kimberly Cloud. I am 38 years old. No, I'm just kidding. No, all actuality, this is the Kimberly Cloud Show, and I plan on doing some real life editing. Now, I wanted to say a joke. I'm always joking because people don't know the secret to a healthy soul is to joke. Not all the time or immaturely, but for free educational message, anything. I get my message out there. I get the joke, the laughter, whether inside your head or your cranial or out loud physically. I get a joke from you. I get a laughter from you guys. And I appreciate it, you know. And I appreciate you guys sitting up there watching me all the time. Like, seriously, I love you guys. Like my shirt, I always like to show a message. Message! Boom. I got this when I was in Pennsylvania. So I just thought I'd reach out and grab it. I said, you know what? I'm about to put on a shirt. You know, the other one just said it called out too much coming from prison, and I never came quite from prison. And so I was like, when I wear sweaters, it's just certain sweaters, like that gray sweater, like I was joking on you now. If y'all remember my sweater I was wearing, it just reeks of when you get out, bro, or when you get out, sister. And I can only respond with a year ago. So, you know, it's all good. I saw a miracle, and I'm not going to talk to 8, 9, or 5 minutes. I'm going to say this, and then we're going to edit this video. Nothing's stopping us. And so I shared some of it with y'all, but if y'all would have seen how many birds it was outside, if y'all would have seen what one day y'all all are going to see it on Walmart camera. But if y'all would have seen today how many birds were outside hovering over my car, 200 to 300 birds, if not 175 if I'm elaborating, but no more, no less than 175 birds. And then as soon as I shut up, they went away. I got off the first time of Facebook and I was like, wow. Then I went to Roxbury's, which is a smoothie shop. Then as I know everybody that watches me from a camera is like, yeah, today it did happen, so let her tell her piece. But I drove up to the stop sign. It had to be 300 to 400 birds. That is not normal. And what made it different was I was nowhere near, I had to be all of 30 feet away. I opened my mouth so wide when I seen how many birds. I mean, it looked so crazy. It ain't nothing compared to seeing a pigeon or a raven together, whatever. We see birds every day. And I've seen birds while I've been here. But to see 200 to 300 of them on the ground, fly up, hover up, and back down. Imagine that. We see them up in the sky all the time. Fair enough, right? But you see maybe 7 to 8 in a triangular pattern. You maybe see a straggler, 10 stragglers. but 200 to 300 birds that are in sync. Cause I was so scared. They moved away from me. Cause I was like, they were hovering around me the whole time. And then when I got off of Facebook, I have to say this. When I got off of Facebook, which is recorded, I drove to the stop sign, drinking Roxbury been gone out my system, my brain shot and my whey protein, and they flew from one sector, 200 to 300. I mean, they had the whole parking lot filled. I wasn't even near them, but as soon as I got scared, it had an emotion, just like I felt when I had an emotion talking to y'all this morning, and they were hovering over me. But as soon as I got scared and I opened my mouth real wide as it can get, because I'm like, I've been to parks, I've watched birds from the sky. To see 200 to 300 of them in a parking lot, it's kind of a bird of interest. You know how the police got a person of interest? Well, these birds to me are of interest. Now, let's not skip what I said, and then we're going to move on to the presentation. Let's not skip what I told one of the birds I always talk to them one at a time, whoever's running the show. And so it was an orange and light gray to black bird. After they hovered over and I got off my feed, which Facebook is always recording. Sorry, Facebook, they need to know. But it shows. I sat up there and I looked dead at the bird. The bird from my left side or my right side flew directly in my view and just stood there beeping, just like Nevermore, the raven. So you know what I told him? I said, don't get freaked out. I put my foot in my mouth. I said, tell your brethren about me. I was just joking. That's why I got scared. I said, tell your brethren about me. I love you all. I'm tired of seeing y'all get killed in windmills. Take care. And I laughed it off. Around the corner, there's an army of them. That's an army of them. That's 200 to 300. I can't even get 200 to 300 people on my page. So it flies away or it stays there. However they communicate telepathically, and they're very in sync. And I go around a corner and there's 200 to 300. And when I get scared, they kind of move like an extra 10 feet away from me, because I'm not used to seeing that. I've seen a lot of birds through my 38 years, but never that many birds at a Walmart parking lot of all. At a Walmart parking lot. That's some Twittering stuff. What was they tweeting about? So, case in point, don't mind me. I'm just being honest. And the point of the matter is that you do an experiment. They all speak in one tone, yes, but talk to them. They're not people, but in my eyes, they're angels, and they're a part of the Holy Trinity. They are the Holy Trinity. A part. They're a small to large part of the Holy Trinity. Their name abbreviation begins with a 2 It ends with a D. If we were to abbreviate the word bird, it would be BD, which equals 6, which equals 3. Or we can say 2. We can say 2, which equals 11. I just made that up. So if you don't get it, it's not meant for you to get right now, my child. So anyway, I'm about to get on here and do the presentation. Give me a second. So we same place, same back place, same back time. So we stopped at 6:10, and we're gonna make this project look really good for Ron Sinclair. And so I would like to add. I can't really add nothing like his. I could add a layer sort of like right here, if you can see my mouse move, but I would have to literally research heavily, and that requires monetary stuff. So I keep it as freelance but professional as I can get it for the productions that I have on my page. Now, what's pretty cool is that this production, I asked for suggestions from 2 brilliant producers, one from the Traffic team and one from the Now Network. No, well, the Now Network is the Traffic team. And they suggested a couple of things. And Stephen Paskey never let me down. You know, I don't care what's going on there. I appreciate, adore this guy for responding back, and the Now Network. And the reason why I give Stephen more props is because of the drama that unfolded while I was there. And I just wanted to say that he could just ignore me. He could not say nothing. He could be evil, but he's not. He's a human. So he's never hindered my show. You know, whether it gets played or not, he downloads the files immediately. And I plan on giving you my footage, this footage, Stephen Paskey. And I plan on giving the Now Network, DCTV, Lynn TV, and a couple of other, I got some new ones, guys. But, you know, until I get that call that it's a go, I don't want to name no names, drop no names. So whatever the case may be, I respect Stephen. Whatever the case may be, I respect the Now Network because they told me some good pointers, and I'm going to take them up starting with tomorrow. I'm going to buy a green screen. I'm going to buy some lighting, going to Guitar Hero or Music Guitar or whatever, buy a cheap green screen, not a cheap, you got to get a Goldilocks effect one, because if you buy something too expensive, you don't know what you're getting unless it's professional grade. These are all name brand stuff that comes from different vendors that know how to make stuff, and defects happen, like I said in my last show. So with that being said, I plan on editing this footage, and they gave me some brilliant pointers, and I appreciate them both. I appreciate everybody I hashtag, and I'm in that subject there. So first things first, we're at 1609, and we're trying to get to 2544, but we're trying to make a proper production intro. I'm gonna have to make an intro outro. So this is going to take more. Let's scan and see what we got so far. Give me a second. We stopped at 1609. We got all this footage and we start from the beginning, but I'm not going to play the whole thing. Let's just see what our intro look like. The next time I submit footage to the Now Network beyond this last footage, because it would take too long to do what he asked, not asked, I asked him. What he suggested I do from me asking him. So I have a couple of things that I have to do too. I really listen to you guys and I appreciate you guys. So let's look at that. I like the President of the United States banner because that gets my audience knowing who I am and what I plan on running for and that I'm serious. Okay. Hi, everyone. I look so happy. I was so happy. Now we're going to speed up because this is going to land at approximately 24 minutes. 24 minutes. Under 24 minutes because the way it cut off. So let's start from 1552 and start.
It's true. It's always something coming up. But I'd like to talk about what you just brought up, if I can.
Go ahead.
You mentioned the fact that America had slaves. One teaching of the critical race theory is that America is bad because America is built on the backs of slaves.
Hold on. I'm not finished. I just got to take this media real quick. Audio and video. Where are you at? My media. Select the item from the sidebar. All events. Brains. Okay, it should be right here. Okay, so where is it at? We're gonna make a duplicate because something happened to it. Split clip. Copy. Let's see what happens with this. Paste, paste, paste. Let's see if okay, I guess it's split clip. Let's see what happens when you split it. Okay, that's like, and then we're gonna keep splitting it. Show clip turner, show speed, reveal in project media. Okie doke, cool. So I got all those products. If you see what I did, he was talking about critical race theory, and we're gonna make sure we put enough banners so that while he talks, the ticker shows his voice goes. So we're gonna start from 1612. Give me a second, y'all.
Theory is that America is bad because America is built on the backs of slaves. Now, and then they say that reparations are required and needed. And what I want to explain is that we need to teach Americans and the whole world that our American Constitution is the vehicle that Heavenly Father used to stop slavery being legal in this world.
You know what's funny about what he says? I'm going to get less than 30 seconds. He's right. George Washington, I revisited George Washington history. And the history that I have to tell you guys this. The history that we learned in high school, middle school, elementary school has been a lie. If you go digging for the truth, you'll find your answers of just who our first father was, who had 8 years in presidency. He didn't want to be a slave owner. He was poor. Believe it or not, he went into the military and he overcame a lot of obstacles where he could have died, and he didn't. He deserved to be president of the United States, the first. But one video that I didn't get to see, which is pretty cool. I mean, I did get to see, which is pretty cool, that I can't find no more. It was meant, you know, these videos that we come across, have you ever seen one of those videos you came across, you can remember, but you don't understand how it popped up on your feed or your television at that exact moment, at that exact time? So what I mean by that is there was a black lady. Nobody knows the reason why there's a symbol on the White House, right? Y'all about to flip out. Some of our prejudiced white people are about to flip out. There's a black lady on the top of the Capitol. Why, you ask? My president's like, darn, she's telling too much. She's telling too much. Before Washington fought his last battle, I believe it goes like this, what I've learned. He was visited by a distant African-American woman that gave him insight on how to win a war. And he won it. He won it. And a couple of other presidents have been visited by this black woman. Look it up. Nobody is going to teach you that crap. Nobody. They're picking up so many bodies from Egypt. It's no longer called mythology. It's called our history. So anyway, let's go back to the video.
And the way it happened was a long, drawn-out process. Good grief, you think Trump had problems now? When this constitutional convention was being held, they had more problems with that issue than anything else. They were divided right up the middle. One half says, well, we cannot have slaves and be a free people like our Declaration of Independence says.
Mm. Listen to him carefully. Be free. I listen to everything. Be free. Is it the elites wanting to be free? Or is it because America, my opinion, he said America was built on slaves. Whoever invented slavery, which comes from many millenniums ago, whoever invented it initially, it was not meant to slavery, working, having fun, being in heaven, being in hell, being overseas, being wherever. Slavery is an opposite. What is the opposite word of slavery? Freedom. But have we really, whether white, black, or Hispanic, had freedom? I mean, we're conditioned to seeing somebody that we, not me, but We as in you and everybody else that voted for Biden, vote for Biden. And then we see and witness, I can't get the image, and this is so messed up that I have to see something rated R at the White House. Think about it. A man, grown man, kissing a woman, a young woman. Now, George Washington kept trying to talk to older women because he was mature. And they passed him off to the right one. And he fell in love. He loved hard. Now, I'm just stating facts. I'm sorry I'm stating politics. I'll delete it off of LinkedIn. I recant. But I'm just stating facts. Our 46th president. You got to remember the timeline too. The very first one. That's A. And Biden is a 5. 5 equals E. Now, you can either say it means evolving, environment, evil. You can say it means many of things. 46th president. Now, Trump is trying to become the what? 47th. Because he was the 45th. If you don't believe in numbers, it was split since day one. Just like he said, half of them wanted to enslave us and half of them didn't. What would really happen? Ask yourselves this, new people. What would really happen if y'all found out again that the government has lied to you? That's in power now. It's theoretically speaking that if they lied to us, it would hurt our feelings. Therefore, it would cause a what? A civil war. And then we would be vulnerable because we would be in a major civil war. And Putin would be like, oh man, I got it good. Where's that button? I got the button on speed dial. Like seriously. Would you allow a grown man, who cares about the race, an older grown man to smell and kiss your daughter? And it's a repeated behavior. If you turn your head when another man that don't know your daughter kisses your daughter and what is it called? Initiate the first stage of initiation. The one that turned around the most, watched the video, was the one that knew what she was doing. Is this what we watch on TV now? This is what happened. Let's go through the events and then I'll just edit and shut up. There was a video of multiple occasions of Biden not letting go of women. There was a video of a girl, a young 12 to 13, a couple of them. It's a couple of videos. It's not just one. One, I could get past. The black people were called roaches, the children, as he was rubbing on the black girl's shoulder, and she's like this. If a black girl knows if they look awkward, it's because they feel awkward. So if you get onto whatever tool decides to cover this up and paint Trump as a pervert, watched as they initiated, some type of initiation went on with these children. I didn't know. I didn't want to know. All I wanted to do was get down to the truth. Why kiss one young woman? Why kiss them? Why? You're doing it on national TV. Is this what we want for a president? A president that kisses young women, a president that says, don't F with him. A president that has a son, has classified documents the same way Trump did. A president that tells 30-year-old women that he met when he was 12, that's in his crowd now. Sounds like an initiation to me. He admitted to it. He said, remember when I was 30 and you were 12? This is what we want for our, and I apologize to the African Americans for calling them dumb, but they infuriate me when they follow him because they believe he's leading them out of slavery. He's killing y'all. And he's keeping Uncle Tom's and Auntie Thomasina's in the news to portray Biden as a loving, such as Kareem, Jane, Pierre. I like white people. I love white people. But I am not, I repeat, I am not an Auntie Thomasina or an Uncle Tom. Now, think about what our other president was doing. Obama. Do he fit? I had to blow that out. Do he fit an Uncle Tom?
And the other side said, well, we must have slaves because that's how our economy is based.
I'm not saying nothing else. I'm just fixing some things because every 5 minutes I'll be talking. I listen to everything he says. I'm just fixing some things real quick. You turned your blind eye on your own daughter. I hope you out there watching. I'm going to delete this but no, I'm going to definitely delete it off of Facebook, but you turned a blind eye as a grown man kissed your daughter. Whether president or not, that was inappropriate. That shows that you would turn a blind eye if anything serious, sir, which that's not even a word, would happen. Or you were told to turn your head. If, theoretically speaking, you know what, guys? I have a feeling that they were told that if they get picked, to turn their heads, and he'll show you that he picked them. Because I can't fathom as a mother. I may have had a rough life. I may have done some effed up stuff as a mother. But I was drugs. It was drugs. It was drugs coming from which state? See, now I know why this happened. Who's from Hawaii, you guys? Who's from Hawaii? The whole time I was cracked out on drugs. Who was in Scranton when I was in Scranton? Who's from Scranton? Biden.
Good grief, they had. You think Trump had problems now? When this constitutional convention was being held, they had more problems with that issue than anything else. They were divided right up the middle. One half says, well, we cannot have slaves and be a free people like our Declaration of Independence says. Mm-hmm. And the other side said, well, we must have slaves because that's how our economy is based.
That was the wing it left, right?
They weren't going to come together.
That was the left wing.
There had to be a compromise.
Was that Democrats that said that?
They weren't going to come together.
Yeah, this is hard to do.
Left, right? They weren't going to come together.
Yeah, it was like that was the wing it left, right?
They weren't going to come together.
Yeah, it was like
based.
That was the wing it left, right?
They weren't going to come together.
That was the left wing.
Our economy is based.
That was the wing it left, right?
They weren't going to come together.
That was the left wing.
Compromise.
Was that Democrats that said that? The left wing.
Compromise.
Was that Democrats that said? Was that? Was that? Was that Democrats that said
slaves because that's how our economy is based?
Was that Democrats that said that? The Democrats said that, right? Yeah, right. The Democrats said that, right? That they must have slaves. And the Republicans said, no, we must not have slaves. We must free the slaves. Because that was President Abe Lincoln, right? Yeah, right. The Democrats said that, right? The Democrats said that, right? Said that. The Democrats said that. Democrats said that, right? That they must have slaves. And the Republicans said, no, we must not have slaves. We must free the slaves. Because that was President Abe Lincoln, right?
No, this was before when the Constitution was being prepared.
Okay, let's continue.
They couldn't agree. They couldn't agree. And so they had a compromise, and that compromise was, it kind of looks ridiculous from our point of view, but they called a Negro 3/5 of a person.
Oh, wow.
And with that, the South was willing to go along with it, and they made another compromise that was there would be no more importing of slaves for 20 years. And then, well, the South could, they could keep their economy going that way. It was a long, drawn-out process, and it didn't stop slavery at that point. The Constitution was written, it was ratified, we became a country. It was another 70 years or so
Sorry.
Democrats said that, right? That they must have slaves. And the Republicans said, no, we must not have slaves. We must free the slaves. Because that was President Abe Lincoln, right?
No.
Oh, wow.
And with that, the South was willing to go along with it, and they made another compromise that was there would be no more importing of slaves for 20 years. And then, well, the South could they could keep their economy going that way. It was a long, drawn-out process, and it didn't stop slavery at that point. The Constitution was written, it was ratified, we became a country. It was another 70 years or so at the Civil War that we had the Emancipation Proclamation.
Wow. I'm not going to say nothing.
It was ratified, we became a country. It was another 70 years or so at the Civil War that we had the Emancipation Proclamation, and that stopped most of the slavery then. But even that didn't stop slavery. It was the 14th Amendment where they actually, our Constitution stopped legalized slavery.
And that was President Lincoln, right? He freed the slaves.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so I was... Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so I was way like behind or ahead when you were talking about the Constitution. President Washington or the somebody in between that time created the Constitution with a bunch of people together as a whole, and they couldn't agree on it. So as the third or the fourth president, because I think he was like the third or the fourth president, he was Republican, President Abe Lincoln, and he sat up there, freed the slaves. They got mad in the South, and they plotted on him. And Booth, I think his name is Booth, he shot him in the head.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Hey, I think he was our 16th president.
Darn it. I don't like talking. I like to let them talk. They teach me.
But even that didn't stop slavery. It was the 14th Amendment where they actually, our Constitution stopped legalized slavery.
And that...
slavery.
And that was President Lincoln, right? He freed the slaves.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so I was way like behind or ahead when you were talking about the Constitution. President Washington or the somebody in between that time created the Constitution with a bunch of people together as a whole, and they couldn't agree on it. So as the third or the fourth president, because I think he was like the third or the fourth president, he was Republican, President Abe Lincoln, and he sat up there, freed the slaves. They got mad in the South, and they plotted on him. And Booth, I think his name is Booth, he shot him in the head.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Hey, I think he was our 16th president.
Now, I got a little secret for you, Ron Sinclair. I love talking to older guys. They're so funny to me. And what I mean by that is not in a sexual way, but I get along more with older people, older men and older women than I do with other ones. So let me get to the point. Did you hear what I said? Were y'all listening? I say he was the how many? Which president? What president did I say? I'm waiting. Exact words were third or fourth. But he said 16th. What's 1 plus 6? So that's what I mean. He teaches me, and I, for some reason, I love it though. All you have to do is tell me 10%. It has to be that way. And that's with anything. You tell me 10%. If you're 7% out of that 10% deceiving, yes, I will buy it. If you're 5% out of that 10% deceiving, I may not trust you or want to be around you. If you tell me something like this wonderful guy did, that's happily married, let's get that straight. He told me wonderful things about slavery and how before, because this is how it went. Now that I know, like I said, I learned 10% and I go with it. And I'm sometimes mostly 65% right sometimes. So he said, I said 3 to 4 times. And he was like, he was the 16th president. But that's not what I wanted to say. I'm gonna see how long it takes for me to get my thought back. I 10%, he told me the 16th president. And I said, what's 3 plus 4? 7. You know? What are the odds of catching that? And, I appreciate a lot of people, but, older guys always teach me stuff, just like Marty did. I still want that cup of tea, Marty. I bet you done. You probably have seen me from a distance somewhere, if not from above. Just like on that movie with Denzel Washington. Is it Deja Vu? I do some funny crap if you do. Anyway, no, I don't have nothing to say. I just want to keep editing.
President.
16th.
But he was a hero, absolutely a hero. He did the hard decisions, and we owe a lot to him. But I just wanted to make the point that after our Constitution was ratified through a long Constitution was ratified through a long and difficult process where they had to accept some slavery principles because they couldn't get it done otherwise. But once that we did get the Constitution ratified, countries all over the world were watching with bated breath what's going to happen to that. That the first time that a man knew that his freedoms came from God and not from a king. First time, our Constitution. And when we freed the slaves after the Civil War, it started a landslide all over the world. And as a result of our Constitution being ratified and going through the Civil War and all of that, we stopped slavery all over the world because of our Constitution.
I agree. And that's
Constitution being ratified and going through the Civil War and all of that, we stopped slavery all over the world because of our Constitution.
I agree. And that's I hate to we're getting close for time because we have like less than 6 minutes left. I would like to say something also because it's educational. What's going on in Russia is unacceptable to the fullest, because you have, once a body had hit the ground the first time and a missile plowed into a hospital, or whatever he is doing, he actually went to church to pray on the people of Ukraine. President Putin would like to spat in every American, every ally to Ukraine's face.
Now, I got something to say. Now that it's been a year and I heard what I said in naiveness, like I said, I was being smoke and mirrors. If this is true what I said, because I don't remember 25% of the stuff that I say. Yeah, we kind of forget it if it's not super important. I forgot about Putin. If he prayed over the people from Ukraine. Remember, I'll say this. I was so angry, but now I see. I'm not condoning, promoting, distorting, trying to create, but I'm telling facts. Putin's initial target was the president. Putin's initial target was his wife. Why? Now I ask myself why. To end the war, he'd rather take out the target. Sometimes to catch somebody, or I don't want to catch him, but sometimes I can relate, not relate, but I can relate to everything around the universe and beyond. So what I mean by that is to think like somebody. You have to think both why in a positive way would he kill millions of people after praying for them, after trying to take out the president of Ukraine first. He tried to take him out first. We're not getting the whole story of what's going on over there. He don't allow his Russian people to watch his TV. So does China. They don't allow American broadcasts all the way. It is something going on. I don't know what it is. I don't want to know, but it's bigger than what we're seeing. It's bigger. So why would Putin want to take out the president before why didn't he? Because he had exercises along the border of Ukraine. First, that was the first nudge. And sometimes I laugh because I was like, dang, it's like getting into a fight where somebody get start walking in circles around you. You like, okay, I feel either you're gonna say, I feel uncomfortable, leave me alone, or you're gonna fight them. But it's so weird. Zelensky and his wife got away. Last I heard, they were on vacation. I mean, have y'all read the news lately? Everybody from America is promoting them for free and giving them money for free on top of the president giving them money for free. However, we've been mind controlled to manipulate us to feel sorry for somebody that should be out there producing his own weapons, his own nuclear weapons. Why is we helping? Why? Why are we sending billions of dollars over there where people are getting tortured and he's allowing it? Obviously he is, right? People are getting tortured by Russia. Now let's look at Zelensky history. Do I look like the actor type? He's an actor. That's not a lie. He was once an actor, always an actor. When have you seen, I mean, it be people clawing to become actors. You don't think once becoming an actor, you're just gonna stop? Pause that. He actually was so nice enough to join us in the United States at a Grammys award during a war. This President Yu. But he's not an actor. He's getting a Grammy. He's going to the Grammys to mingle during a war. And we're like, Zelensky. While some of his employees get fired. Because why? He's mad. The title said, Zelensky mad at employees telling that he's on vacation. That is what it said. That is what it said. What is going on? Who invited him to the United States that fast? Who invited the United States to Taiwan that fast? When Russia was about to shoot down a plane. So how evil is China and Russia if your enemy, which is the United States of America, is going over to Taiwan and nothing happened? No killing, no nothing. But Ukrainian people are being sacrificed. So who is Satan or Damien? Maybe those missiles that say Satan 1 and Satan 2. Oh crap, I just correlated myself. Damien. I'm putting this crap on Rumble.
To Ukraine's face. And I feel like right now, if we don't figure out a way to get him out of office, because he's already made a threat to the United States about how if we don't stop supplying, even though we're not even helping, He said if we don't stop supplying resources to Ukraine, then the consequences might be dire.
This was a year ago I did this, you guys. And I said just now that if we don't stop supplying weapons or money to Ukraine, the consequences. He's stupid. Oh my God. Oh my God. And we here today on, let's count. It just changed. It was just my number, 806, and now it's 807. Let's look at the time. Let's look at my day. 4 ones. 6 plus 5 is 11. Putin sat up there and said consequences might be dire. Consequences might be dire. He don't have to cause no, he don't have to do nothing to the United States now. I understand that. It could have went in a bad way and it could have went in a good way. I wonder how many people are watching me right now that is telling their friends and family. I kept waiting for some reason to do this project. And I got y'all, I got you, like Shanae say, I got you at the right moment, at the right time. And I'm glad, because y'all deserve to know, if somebody say tomato and you say tomato, and somebody say, well, what about red? Red catsup, like whatever. There's varieties. And I'm not going to jail, or I'm not going to get investigated for something that is the truth, which is consequences could be dire, non-lethal consequences. First round is non-lethal, I believe, when somebody like President Putin goes and stops the war in order to pray, almost 2 months ago, somebody like President Putin on February, because I was up at 9 o'clock at night when the war started, February 21st, 2022 or 2021. No, 2022. And then February 22nd, 2022 was the day of enlightenment for everyone. Y'all missed it. It'll come around again. History repeats itself. I wonder how many points you get for praying to God on those special days. If you miss days, like I've missed the final, I don't know if it's final for the rest of the time in the universe until the universe rebirths again, But I missed the beautifulest scene that I still haven't seen, and I will look later. But the super moon, the mega super moon, and it came February. No, I forgot the date, but it was a significant date. And so I say, do I get points knocked off my heavenly homework scale if I, miss a day like that to pray to God on a special, powerful day? Because the moon takes energy from us, y'all. If you don't know, the moon takes energy from everything in order to slowly revolve around us, everlasting spinning. It's like a magnetic force. It's drawn to us, but we get our energy from the sun. Depending on which harvest moon, which moon. The moon have different stages. It's beautiful. It's like an eye, how your iris, like it's crazy. I like it, the structure. I talk to God a lot, and I be like, God, you made some funny things, man. Like I can count. It's always two mirrors. It's always one or more mirror. You have a traditional mirror. You need a mirror. Why? I don't know. Why is mirror so important? We need a mirror. It's mirrors in everybody's house. And if you don't have a mirror, you make a mirror, or you have a compact mirror. You have a mirror. Don't forever, before I finish this segment, think that mirror whether your past or future isn't going to guide you the right way. The person you see right now talking, the person you see in the mirror when you watch your face, is your negative. Is your negative, right? We see in black and white, so now we've been conditioned to see in color. And it is amazing. I am so connected with this house. It's like every movement I make sometimes, I look to my right and the heat just turns off. I love this house. I am so happy, man. I am so happy because it's like, that be scaring me sometimes, you guys, when weird stuff like that happen. I'll tell you another instance. There's nothing over there. Nothing, not a trash can, nothing. I heard some tapping sounds, like somebody was, and I was like, I was drawn to it. So I walked up on it. I ran up on it like I was running up on somebody. And I started tapping just like they were. The tap was fading. And so I started tapping. Whatever it was over there was so funny. they be scaring me sometimes, because like I could be washing dishes and the heat be on, and it disperse in the, and then what happens? Wind blows, or like in Reisterstown Square Apartments, FBI, check this out. I don't know who it be. It could be somebody with stealth powers. I know it's not the aliens effing with me. It must be. It must be. Sometimes there's some stuff I cannot explain. It's my whole life I cannot explain. But this instance, when I pulled down the blinds to look outside, those, and then I have one last thing to say, but I pulled down the blinds that at 8 o'clock at night, p.m., 12 o'clock, I watched Damon John on Shark Tank. 1 o'clock, I'm asleep. I used to wake up late. 10 o'clock, I wake up. I look at the blinds. Something wakes me up, something, and the blinds shut. Like 14 hours? 14 hours or more open? And as soon as I look at it, or how about the blinking lights? How when I get to a destination, if it's still night or between day and night, as soon as I stop, the lights turn off. And the way they blink sometimes is just so weird. Who is Father Death? Who is Father Time? To be a father, you would have to birth a child. The father of who? So we got Father Time and Father Death, but I want to talk specifically about Father Death because I was thinking about this earlier, you guys. And then I'm going to delete the crap out of this, but stick with me. Father Time is Osiris. So who is, no. Father Death is Osiris. Have to be Osiris. They're picking up coffins. Coffins is just, they rolling. It's so funny, Egyptians, if you're out there watching, y'all rolling in the coffins, like the deaf people are coming back to life. Like they do, doom, doom, we're here. And then the archaeologist is like, ah. Anyway, so seriously though, they're picking up different bodies and they're just rolling. I keep seeing these things come up about Egyptians. And Father Death is Osiris because Osiris is the ruler of the underworld and the death. So that's one mystery we solved together. So who is Father Time? Now, the creator of the time zones, I read about him, but that's too early. Mayans even created it. But who was the actual creator on this earth of time? Who is Father Time? Oh, I know. I know. I think I know. I could be wrong. I'm just going with an educated guess. You know, we have our founding, wonderful 46. No, we're going to first begin with 45th. We're going to say 45th on down, even the ones that messed up. But I'm not smashing or bashing or trying to be mean, but I feel very disappointed to be a veteran that may have not went through war, may have not went through any of that, but She's went through wars in civilian veteran life. Literally. She's went through wars. I don't need no award. You know what I need? I need an apology, a word, a number, a symbol from your mouth for ignoring me as a citizen, as a veteran trying to make it. I never bashed you. You ignored me as a citizen, as a veteran. I just want an apology. You can't even give me that. You ignore me like y'all ignored Bob Lazar. Then look up Phil Snyder, how his wife believed he was murdered. So let's finish editing so I can send this.
What other consequences can you do other than the fact that you?
No lie, you guys. I promise you, my air turned back on. So weird.
Sat up there and you killed a baby and a mother, it's just sickening to me. What are your views on that for 2 minutes? You got 2 minutes.
Well, that's not long enough.
I know, right?
I would refer everybody to listen again to President Trump last Saturday at his Ohio rally, because he goes through that.
Woo-woo.
To listen again to President Trump.
A baby and a mother, it's just sickening to me. What are your views on that for 2 minutes? You got 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes.
Well, that's not long enough.
I know, right?
I would refer everybody to listen again to President Trump last Saturday at his Ohio rally, because he goes through that.
Woo-woo.
Oh, gee, we gotta stand strong. What Biden is doing is telling everybody, yeah, we don't like it, but we won't do anything about it. But President Trump, I'm sure if he were in there, it would never have happened in the first place. If we can get him back in there, he'll stop it.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like so many things that
we don't like it, but we won't do anything about it. We gotta stand strong. What Biden is doing is telling everybody, yeah, we don't like it, but we won't do anything about it.
Just like I said, man. Just like I said, I have credibility through my videos that other people feel the exact same way.
Like it, but we won't do anything about it. But President Trump, I'm sure if he were in there, it would never.
Now, how would he know that 12, 13, 14 months down the road, I would be speaking? I know what he said, but it's no way I can visualize what he say before he say it when I haven't seen the rest of this since 7, 8 months ago. Just like he felt. He just said that, yeah, we don't like it. we won't do nothing about it.
President Trump, I'm sure if he were in there, it would never have happened in the first place. If we can get him back in there, he'll stop it.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like so many things that I wanted to say. And I know that, you know, he was cordial to get that message out there. President Trump was very cordial with Putin, but he even was quoted saying he admired the guy. And now he's
I do too.
You know, I admire how he's getting away with this. I'm admiring how he's getting away with this, because if it was any citizen out on the street, that killed somebody cold blood, the police would step in and execute that person, because that's not what you do. You don't go around killing people, innocent women and children. The police wouldn't stand for it, the FBI.
Now, what would give you a pass where you were allowed to kill and pray over people unless you knew that it was something that you felt was wrong? Because somebody is starting to say, like I said, I got a message that said Crimea on my phone. And I looked, I said, what is Crimea? What would you like for me to do? So something just popped, looked up Siri, and I said Crimea. And they're fighting over Crimea right now, which is near the Black Sea. And so this is Putin's moneymaker. Some of our electricity or oil or whatever it is, the Keystone Pipeline, I think that's what it's called, or something, is gas. And some of that gas, which is very advanced, it comes to us for production of things. And it's still like, but to have that type of power, like a God law or some type of other above the law, he have to be above the law, which means that it's a reason deeper than what keeps being flung around as a national security threat. Had I known about the Hunter Biden laptop earlier, I would have been speaking about this. Had I known the things I know today, I would have been speaking about this, whether I had a messed up mouth or not. I would have been proving my point, not only with the VA, but with everything I got to tell my story. I don't care about that. I do, but I'm being tested. How much can you take care of something? And it's a little wear and tear, but I want what's best for me. So, I really feel that it's something behind it. I really feel like it's something behind it. That's more to the story that we will never know. We will never know. We will never know. Only somebody that is a God, whether good or bad, whether not good, whether not bad, whether an archangel, only have the power or maybe Father Death. I finally found him. Something is speaking through me. Has the power to take away lives and get away with it. I'm not mad. I admire the fact that whatever is going on, it's not my fault. What I can control, I hate what's going on with the people. We're excluding the people from here. We're not talking about that. I don't admire the deaths, but I admire that we have a NATO government, international and interstellar system that only sanctions, which is basically a bill. So wake up if you think there's no archangels and gods living on this planet. They're billing him for killing. There's a reason. What do we get? What do we get when we kill? We go to jail. That's the proper way, right? So if you think that a sanction or a bill, should I say, is going to, like a bill, I owe you or you owe me. Think about it, y'all. I owe you. You know you owe me for killing them people in my born state. It's like Monopoly. Somebody is staying out of it for a reason. We're sitting up there, Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. And all while NATO is just calm. And FYI, Putin has his own NATO. We quite never, it's an honor for NATO to be introduced this way. I hate that it's a bad introduction. I'm not talking about NATO in a bad way, but I'm telling them your body language. I'm telling them what I see, what they should watch on YouTube that I saw. During this whole war, there's been debates that's not even as heated as a court show about what Putin has done. So I admire it because I'm like, nobody has done nothing but gave him a bill. They built somebody like this is the only way I would build somebody and make them pay me. Biden is making Putin pay him or everybody for killing a Ukrainian country and torturing. But why? Like I said before, the pipeline, the gas is something different. And I don't believe everything. I don't believe everything. But one thing is true. Any person who slaughters almost millions of people, as supposedly evil as President Putin, would stop the war? For what? For Jesus Christ's Day. Is something going on. Y'all gotta dig harder.
FBI wouldn't stand for it. The CIA wouldn't stand for it. And can you, in closing, can you tell the people how they can reach you and watch your material at Uncle Sam?
You bet. Thank you. My website is unclesamsays.us. unclesamsays.us. Go there.
Can you tell the people how they can reach you and watch your, so many things that I wanted to say, and I know that, he was cordial to get that message out there. President Trump was very cordial with Putin, but he even was quoted saying he admired the guy, and now he's.
Well, I do too. I do too.
Now he's. Now he's.
I do too.
I admire how he's getting away with this. I'm admiring how he's getting away with this, because if it was any citizen out on the street, that killed somebody cold blood, the police would step in and execute that person, because that's not what you do. You don't go around killing people, innocent women and children. The police wouldn't stand for it. The FBI wouldn't stand for it. The CIA wouldn't stand for it. And in closing, can you tell the people how they can reach you and watch your material at Uncle Sam?
You bet. Thank you. You bet. Thank you. My website is.
Watch your material at Uncle Sam.
You bet.
Watch your material at Uncle Sam.
You bet. Thank you. My website is unclesamsays.us. unclesamsays.us. Go there. First thing you'll see is how to get my stories for free. Do it. Get them. They'll kill the CRT effects in your life. They're all true, absolutely true, and that's you can reach me through there also.
Well,
US. Go there. First thing you'll see is how to get my stories for free. Do it. Get them. They'll kill the CRT effects in your life. They're all true, absolutely true, and that's you can reach me through there also.
Well, I want to.
So. You can reach me through there also.
Well, I want to thank you. Stay on the line. I want to thank you for joining my show. You definitely take care. Be safe out there, and everyone, and stay on the line, Ron. Okay. Thank you for your Ron. Okay. When around the saying, everyone, and stay on the line. Ron, be safe out there, and right there.
Now I have to erase this. Okay, we're gonna see how this sounds.
You can reach me through there also.
Well, I want to thank you. Stay on the line. I want to thank you for joining my show. You definitely take care. Be safe out there, and
I knew it was gonna sound.
Definitely take care. Be safe out there. My show. You definitely take care. Joining my show. You definitely joining my show. You definitely. And thank you for joining my show. Definitely take care. Well, I want to thank you. Stay on the line. I want to thank you for joining. Well, I want to thank. I know how. Well, well, I want to thank you. Stay on the line. I don't know yet. You stay on the line. I don't know yet. Stay on the line. I want to thank. I want to thank. I want to thank. I'm on the line. I want to thank. I want to. I want to. I want to. On the line. I want to thank you for joining my show. Definitely take care.
Oh, where is it at? I'm gonna do it like that. Switch that around, and we're gonna do this.
Take care.
Yeah, all of them stay. So I'm going to clip some of this. You know what? 21 Savage is so funny when he said rah, or he said rah. I got that from him, and it's so funny because he probably was thinking what I was thinking when he said it, which was that I was like, oh my God, I messed that up. Let's see. But I said it in cuss words. Let's see. What is his name? Ron Sinclair. I didn't even need to look. Ron Sinclair. Not Sinclair. God, that's so funny. Oh God. Oh God. I'm getting visions. Oh my God. No way. All I'm going to say before I end this conversation, you watched how I did it. Thank you for sticking with me. And, you know, I always have an and is such a beautiful word. Who would benefit from this war? I still have to do an introduction and outro, but who is benefiting from this war? And who is suffering? And who is giving? And really, what is. I'm getting off of here. Time out. Whoever is doing this needs to stop.